Okay, today I'm making a video to answer probably the number one question that I'm asked when it comes to bodybuilding or losing body fat, and that is, what supplements do I take? And before I go into the supplements I take, I just want to emphasize that the majority of supplements that I take now are geared toward overall health more than they are actual muscle building. For the simple fact, over the years, it's been almost 16 years now since I've took up weight training, that I've taken tried almost every supplement they make. And in the very beginning, I bought into the whole advertisement bit that you see in the magazines that was promising, huge gains of muscle, when all they ever did for me is, took money away from me. Just to show that I wasn't immune to this in the very beginning. I remember probably the first, I hadn't been working out maybe 6 months, and I remember reading a bodybuilding magazine, just looking for any kind of information on that subject that I could find, and going over, finding an advertisement that showed these huge bodybuilders advertising that they took this supplement and that's the reason they was this size. And I consciously remember thinking, after I'd made up my mind that I was going to take this, buy this supplement and take it, that I was going to have to buy a whole new set of clothes, because I thought I wasn't going to be able to fit in anything that I owned. And just thinking that, when I took this supplement, I was just going to explode with size like the Hulk, just like overnight I was going to get huge. And the advertisement made it seem that way. And, I no longer really buy into that, because none of the supplements that have really promised that, it never did work. So I take very few what you would call bodybuilding supplements, but with majority of things that I take now being like healthy fats and vitamins and minerals, because I've seen that if you focus on trying to make your body as healthy as possible, then it seems easier to build muscle and stay lean if your focus is on health. So I just not had much success with a supplement that is, like I said, it builds muscle. I just believe that it's like Dave Palumbo said, the most anabolic thing that you can eat, or the most muscle building supplement you can take, is food. And he's absolutely right. So I'll start off with the first, I think it's 3 what I would call actual supplements that I take. They're designed around bodybuilding. And the first one that I take is L-glutamine. I take a micronized, if I can find it, and it doesn't have to be this brand. It can be anything, as long as it is pure L-glutamine. I recommend micronized. It dissolves better. But I take 10 grams after every workout, and that's cardio or weightlifting workout. And that's for the simple fact that L-glutamine is designed or is meant to be for recovery after those workouts. And as I said in a video before, you know, I never seen the benefit of L-glutamine, even question whether I should be taking it or not, until I was getting ready for a contest a few years back, and I really dieted down hard for it. I had, you know, I was probably 3 weeks away from it, and my calories was really low. I was doing 5 weightlifting sessions a week, 5 high-intensity cardio sessions a week, and I literally, you know, felt like I could pass out just any moment for probably a solid month. I mean, every time I stood up, you know, it didn't matter if I sat down and stood up 100 times that day, I felt like I could, you know, pass out every time. As I told people, I felt kind of like a flickering light bulb that, you know, it may go out or it, you know, may not. It's really, I look back now, I dieted way too far. You know, I went too far, really. But I questioned how could I get through a weightlifting session. You know, how could I lift all this weight when I really didn't even feel like walking around? You know, I just kind of wanted to lay around on the couch all day. But I could take 5 grams of this beginning of my workout, and it would get me through the, you know, workout. It would pep me back up to where I didn't feel so bad. So I do recommend glutamine. And the next one would be creatine monohydrate, just pure plain Jane creatine monohydrate, micronized again, so it dissolves easy. And I just get the pure kind, you know, no additives, so I know, you know, exactly what's, you know, what I'm putting into my body. But creatine, the way I take this is I only take it on Friday, Saturday, and Sundays, and I take 5 grams or a teaspoon of it 5 times that day. That's 25 grams total. And I take the first one with my breakfast, the second one with my pre-workout shake, the third one with my post-workout shake, and then the other 2 divided between, you know, whatever 2 meals I have left over that day. So, you know, reason I take that, and on the website ast-ss.com, I follow a lot of what they say, and they're the ones that recommended using creatine in this way. And they say that the other 4 days allows your body to, you know, resensitize itself to creatine, so it'll uptake it better on those 3 days that you do take it. And I do see a benefit of creatine, as far as, you know, I don't see a difference as far as you know, lifting 200 pounds 5 reps this week and lifting it 10 times the next week, but I do see a difference as far as I'll be able to lift it 6 times the next week, 7 times the next. It gives me just that little bit of extra strength to where I can push that, you know, make that 1 more rep, which is really all it counts. You know, that's all I need, 1 more rep. And so that's another one that I recommend. I've taken it since almost day 1, I think. Probably not more than a month into working out, I started taking creatine and not had any problems with it. The next supplement I don't take much of this, but is vandyl sulfate. And vandyl sulfate is what you call an insulin mimicker, I guess you would say. It increases your insulin sensitivity, meaning you know, you're more able to absorb carbs when you eat them instead of turning them into fat. So the only time I take vandyl sulfate is with a cheat meal. You know, I'll take 8, maybe 4 total cheat meals a week. I'll have 2 on Friday and 2 on Sunday, and so I'll take one 20 milligram capsule of Vandyl with each of those meals, not going over, 40 milligrams a day. I think the max on this is 60 milligrams a day, and you don't want to take Vandyl sulfate continuously, like for months, like you could creatine or glutamine, because it has shown that it can cause a buildup of metal in your body and cause metal toxicity. So you need time. It needs time to flush out of your body, and it's the main reason I only take it just, like say 4 capsules of it a week. And the only other time I take it more than that is leading up to a show. I'll take it 3 weeks continuously, 60 milligrams continuously for 3 weeks leading up, because Vandyl, for me, it does give you that, like, it makes you appear leaner. Because of the muscles being filled up with glucose and carbs, glucose or carbs in the form of glucose, and gives you that, that harder, pumped up, just worked out look, the kind of, the look that you want when you're up on stage. But if you don't want to take Vandyl, there's ALA, which advertises it does the same thing. I've taken ALA, but it doesn't, work for me the same as Vandyl sulfate does. Some people say Vandyl sulfate doesn't work for them, and ALA does. So you might, and ALA is a lot safer as far as it's already in a lot of food anyhow. It's just not in a concentrated form. But that's probably really the 3 I would call bodybuilding supplements that I take. The other thing, I guess, let's say I take caffeine. I only take this 3 times a week. This is a 200 milligram capsule. I split or a tablet. I split the tablet, one of the tablets, and so I have 1.5 tablets before my cardio session, 30 minutes before cardio session, and 30 minutes before my leg workout, which is what I consider my hardest workout. So I need something, the caffeine helps me, revs me up to push me through, to push myself through those hard sets. And I've not explained it yet, but my cardio is high intensity interval type training, so the caffeine does help me, when I'm wanting to quit on it. It helps me not give up and push through that cardio. I wouldn't take this if I had less than 5 hours, maybe 6 hours before bedtime, because it does keep me awake. So if I can't take it in the mornings, if my cardio session or workouts are in the evenings, then I just skip caffeine. I just have to deal with it. So the rest I really take is vitamins and minerals. I take, this is biotin. I take 5,000 micrograms of biotin. The only reason I take this is I kind of accidentally seen its importance. There was a time a while back that I was growing my hair out. Some people remember it being kind of long and shaggy looking. Well, I was trying to grow that out for, I was wanting to donate it to cancer wigs. So, and I heard biotin, increases hair growth. So I thought anything to make it grow quick so I can get it at the length it needs to be and get it off of my head, the better. And, but at the same time I was taking biotin, it, my hands, they chap really easy, and then usually the knuckles crack and fingers split. And I seen when I started taking biotin, that did not happen. So I felt like that, there was something that maybe I needed that. So I've taken it ever since, and it has stopped my hands from, cracking and, getting so chapped in the winter. But I ended up cutting my hair off early anyhow, because the stuff, to me it looked more like clown hair or sheep wool or something, and I just felt like, nobody's going to want that stuff. So I just went ahead and got it off my head. Didn't know I had hair like that until I let it grow out. The next one I take, is CLA. Some would call this a supplement. I don't really think of it as a supplement. CLA is an acronym for conjugated linolenic acid, and I consider this similar to a fish oil pill or any other healthy fat, because that's what it is. You know, it's a capsule. You can see it looks a lot like fish oil, and just a capsule full of oil, and it's pure fat. It's 1 gram of fat, 10 calories, you know, no carbs. So this is something I would take even if I didn't work out. I consider this something to increase your health. You know, studies show that people that take this regular they tend to carry more muscle mass and less body fat. You know, so anything that does that, you know, that's what everybody's after, even if they don't work out. So I take 4 capsules of this a day, every day. And the next one, calcium, take 600 milligrams, 1 tablet of this a day. This is another one that I kind of accidentally fell upon. You know, because I don't eat, you know, after reading the book, Paleo Diet Solution by Rob Wolf, you know, he explains how bad dairy is for us. So I completely got away from dairy. Don't, you know, have any yogurt or milk or anything. You know, people go, dairy is kind of like the egg. You know, it goes back and forth on it. Is it bad for you? Is it good for you? I don't know. I stay away from it. So, but doing so, I was not getting enough calcium, and it was causing me to be unable to get a tan at all. I would, you know, I was like burning 7-8 times during the summer. I'd get a burn, the burn would go away, and then I would just be, you know, white as cotton afterwards, and never get a tan. But through a lot of Google searches and trying different supplements, I found out that calcium was what I was missing, and you know, can get a tan no problem ever since. Hardly even burn now that I take this. See, the next one, vitamin C. I use the ester C, which is kind of like the natural version of vitamin C. I take a 1,000 milligram tablet of this before every workout. You know, I take it with food. I think his name is Dan Duchan, the author of Body Opus. He explains how taking you know, 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C 30 minutes before every workout, you know, will keep you from doing, kind of keep the free radicals down in your body, you know, and keep your workouts from harming you. You know, you definitely don't want to go have your workouts making you go backwards. So I take 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C before my cardio and before my weightlifting workouts. You know, if I have a cardio session and a weightlifting session on the same day, then I'll take 2 of these before each one. See, the next one and last one, or not the last one, is fish oil. I take 2 of these 1,200 milligrams fish oil capsules. See, it looks, you know, similar to the CLA, and you know, reason being, now studies show that you should eat salmon like 2 to 3 times a week, and I just felt like, well, it would be a lot easier just to take fish oil and get those same omega-3s instead of worrying about buying and cooking fillets of salmon every week. Or, you know, I'm not really a big fan of eating it anyhow, so that was the reason I did this. The only other one that I take that I don't have the bottle for is zinc. I take one, I think it's 99 milligrams, maybe I'm not sure on that. It might be 50 milligrams of, it's the lower version of zinc tablet a day. And with zinc, you know, it's shown to help keep your testosterone up. And I do feel better if I consistently take one per day. As far as my strength and just overall well-being with it as without it. So like I say, that's it. That's all the supplements I take. Other than protein powder, if you consider that a supplement, I consider it a food. A lot of people want to take one scoop a day of it, but really it should be looked at as part of your food. So that'll be it for this video.